We're making some good progress in setting up our first campaign here, and we've already looked at the basic campaign settings and location and language targeting. Now it's time to review our options when it comes to our bidding strategy and our budgets. We're going to want to click on the Advanced Options link to see all of our options, and you'll see that for a search campaign, we've got two things we can focus on: clicks and conversions. You'll also see a flexible bid strategy that we'll cover in just a bit. Now, we know that getting clicks is only half the battle here. Once someone clicks on your ad, you need to get them to do something that you value to make this whole thing worthwhile. And we'll spend quite a bit of time talking about different conversion actions that you can set up in AdWords later on in the course. You'll also notice that the Focus on Conversions radio button is grayed out now, and that's because with this brand new campaign, we don't have any conversions set up or any data that AdWords needs for this kind of bidding. But don't worry, we have a whole video dedicated to this style of bidding as well. So this means that when we're just starting out, we've really only got two choices. We can manually set and manage our own bids, or we can let AdWords do it for us. The first option is pretty straightforward, and it gives us the most control over our campaigns. For each of our ad groups and keywords, we'll set our max cost per click bid, and we'll be able to adjust it up or down over time to accomplish our advertising objectives. This will make a lot more sense later on when we discuss how this whole auction thing works. The other option that you have is known as automatic bidding, where you let AdWords set and manage your bids, attempting to get you as many clicks as it possibly can for your daily budget. Now, if you do choose this one, keep in mind that by default, there's no limit on how much AdWords could spend on a single click for you. So you'll probably want to set an upper bound, and this CPC bid limit is where you'll do that. This automatic bidding option is often a good one if you're just starting out and want to get some data in your account that you can start using to optimize your campaigns. In fact, I often tell our own clients that your first few months of online marketing spend should really be treated as market research budget. You're going to spend some money to get some data around what's working and what's not, and from there, you'll be able to make smarter marketing decisions. Last in this section, you'll also notice that the checkbox Enable Enhanced CPC is also grayed out at this point. Much like the Focus on Conversions option, this checkbox starts to take into account conversions and not just clicks when AdWords is setting your bids for you. And once you do have conversions set up in your account, this is often a very good option to check. So now let's take a look at our Flexible Bid Strategy option. This is a relatively recent feature that allows you to set up some account-wide overarching bid strategies, and like most things that are account-wide, it lives in the shared library. Here, you can see that the same idea of enhanced CPC that we just talked about and that Focus on Conversions option that we'll go over in a later video are both here. But there's also options you can use to do things like target higher ad slots and positions on the search engine results page, or get as many clicks as you possibly can for your budget, or target a specific return on ad spend. Let's take a look at this last one and create an account-wide bid strategy and assume that we're already tracking conversions. Now let's say that we run our numbers and figure out that we spent $100 on AdWords and that we estimate we received about $150 in value from those campaigns. Very generally, we can take that 150 divided by 100 and see that if we want to keep going at this rate, we'd be looking at a 150% return on ad spend, or ROAS. But that also means that my boss is probably going to tell me that I have to do better than that. So here, I might choose to target 160% and see if Google can optimize against that target better than I can. Now, one thing I don't want to do is put in a target of something that's unrealistic, like 1,000% ROAS, for example. That's not a reasonable expectation for me, and it's not likely that this campaign will ever be able to find bids or people to click on ads that will meet this criteria. So you'll probably end up with a lot of nothing. Small incremental increases over time are really the key here. Now, the last thing to point out is that there's usually some controls, as we saw earlier with that automatic bidding option. Here, under Advanced Options, you can set bid minimums and maximums to ensure that you stay within your comfort zone. Once we've named it and once we have a strategy available across our entire account, when we go back to this campaign that we're setting up, we can choose it from our Flexible Bid Strategy list. Now, the last thing we're going to have to do here is tell AdWords how much we want to spend each day. And there's an important caveat here. You see that actual spend may vary fine print? Well, here's how that works. Because most people are thinking about monthly budgets, and because you have variances in clicks over weekends and weekdays and things like that, AdWords reserves the right to overspend on your account by up to 20% on any single day. But you'll never actually get charged more than you planned for the entire month. Let's take an example. Let's say I set my daily budget at $10 per day. On any given day during the month, Google could spend up to $12 to make up for days that it believes I won't hit my $10 limit. But over the course of that month, Google would never spend more than $304, which represents my $10 daily budget multiplied by the average 30.4 days in each month. So now we've got all the makings of a campaign. At this point, we've gone through our basic settings, we've set some targeting criteria, and we've chosen how we're going to bid and how much we're going to spend. And technically, this is all we need to start advertising. But there are still a few advanced features out there that you'll want to take advantage of, so don't forget to watch the rest of the videos in this chapter.